During the last school year's Battle of the Bands, a Pisay-based jazz band, Chilig, was invited as a guest performer for the event. This is the first time a Pisay-based band, whose members were still Pisay students at the time, was invited to perform in Pisay. This is quite uncommon, as there are not a lot of Pisay bands, or high school bands in general, that surpass the high school landscape and get to perform in cafes or other schools. In being an artist, there exists a line between aspirations and curriculars in performing, and this line is more so clouded in the stressful and busy environment of Pisay. Pisay is a very liberal environment in that it utilizes a lot of arts for its curriculum and community-wide events. In the scope of this topic, music is a very polar one. Memorable projects such as the Grade 9 musicals and Grade 10 concerts are proof that the curriculum has heavily utilized this art. However, the main problem is that general music as a community-wide practice isn't structured to be sustainable in comparison to other socially reliant practices, such as dancing or orchestral singing, in that being a musician heavily relies on individual agenda to evolve. We asked members of a former band, Heptacle, in defining their experiences as a band, how they synergize with each other, and their progress as a more mature musician.
Professionally or kahit magpe-perform lang talaga ako, parang gusto ko. Gusto ko rin yung if ever malalaking masa, parang magiging ako ganun. Hindi ko J puno. Sasayaw ko habang kumakanta.
Yes, definitely. Kasi when you're gonna choose a career in the future, you don't only think about if it makes money. You also think about if you enjoy it.
I'm actually not sure yet with what I actually want to do. Pero I guess it could be like a side job if ever I don't really click or something.
It started nung grade 8, the first week of grade 8. My roommate owned a ukulele, and since there wasn't really much to do to start in grade 8, I thought na, maybe I could start to learn ukulele so that at least I have one instrument that my parents can be proud of me to know. So, ayun, I started playing the ukulele, and by the end of the week, I was proud enough to say that I could play the ukulele at a really good way. Parang I was good at it na. I was almost as good as my roommate. Tapos from there, nag-progress lang siya. 2 months later, I learned how to play the guitar. Tapos from there, the next year, nag-gets ka ng paano mag-drums. And from there, everything just came to me. Kasi a good thing about me is I can learn fast.
In grade 7 kasi, may kaibigan ako. Nung field trip, may pinakinig siya sa akin. Alapap, sabi niya, ang ganda niya na. Pero yung dinownload ko na version, yung live. So sabi niya, pakinggan mo yung studio version ng Alapap ng Eraserheads. So nung pakinggan ko, ang ganda nga. Tapos talaga, Tapos biglang gusto ko mag-bass.
I guess my biggest inspiration to start playing the guitar was Kuya Sean Obiera, guitarist of Chilig. It was really cool how he played all those jazz chords nung grade 9 pa lang siya. So I decided, why don't I try to learn the guitar and play something like that? It was more of the support of people in the batch, because I'd usually ask people how it sounded, what I could change with the notes, like especially Kuya Arca. He's such an amazing dude. How he plays, he could shred, which is awesome. So it's really nice how a lot of people support me in what I do, and also help me understand if there is something wrong in what I'm doing or if I could change something.
It's love. Sa tingin ko, nag-fail ako pag hindi ko kayang mahalin yung pinaperform ko. Or anything na gagawin ko at all. Parang may mga ibang songs na hindi ko kayang mahalin. Hindi ko talaga kayang i-perform ng maayos. Pero pag may love, parang kahit gano'n kapangit pa, like kung check niyo yung SoundCloud page ko, parang ang pangit-pangit ang mga kanta ko. Pero mahal ko pa rin, kaya masaya pa rin ako. And I think yung success ko is within myself. So, bahala na siguro.
Inspiration lang from friends, from life. General life in general. Pero mostly sa support from your friends, family, and people that know you. Like, when you practice around your friends or play songs around your friends, and they compliment, or you can see the smiles on their faces when you start playing the instrument and they all sing along to you. It makes you feel like you're good at music. So that feeling drives you to continue on with music.
I think I was the one that started the collapse because I left first. They didn't break up yet. So, para sa akin, yung main reason kung bakit nag-break up sila, well, the main reason I left was because a lot of hires actually told me that nasasayangan sila sa akin kasi I'm playing songs that I'm actually hindi siya bagay sa akin.
Sa tingin ko hindi talaga kami masyado nag-connect. Like, iba yung gusto namin sa music, iba yung gusto namin marating. Tsaka in general, iba yung gusto namin i-perform. Sa tingin ko wala namang mas magaling sa amin or anything. Pero iba-iba lang talaga yung mahal namin na music.
It was a group of individuals. You know, like we didn't have much chemistry. Everybody as a band. We're more of singular good musicians all playing together at once. Hindi ko playing as it's like we weren't a family. You know, we were just people standing playing music, not really together at the same time, but not together.
It's not easy to start a band at all. It's hard to start a band if you want to be serious as a band. Kasi you can't have a person who's very good at what he's doing and then other people that couldn't reach his level kasi that guy who's really good at it has to lower down the level and hindi ma-maximize yung potential niya as a player. So I think that skill level's an important part in making a band.
Sa akin, mahirap. Kasi nga mahihain ako. Kunti lang yung friends ko na musicians na similar yung gusto kong i-perform sa akin. Lalo yung mga drummers. Ang hirap-hirap maghanap ng drummers. So, mahirap. Pero kung marami kang connections, syempre dumadala.
It's hard to start a band naman. So think of starting a band in Pisay where with what you know, tatanggalin na nila yung humanities electives. And they don't really make us express our non-STEM talents that much compared to other schools. Since we are a science high school, we should be focusing on science and technology and engineering and not STEM. So yun, it's harder to do that since school pa nga lang so marami homework and all of that. Kasi malala pa sa homework is usually nothing music related.
This line between musical aspiration and the curriculum is created because while the curriculum might inspire a person to become a musician, there's no really support system such as Tagala or Imigagham to help hone your abilities, because becoming a musician is heavily reliant on the individual process. It relies on the self-discovery of emotions, comfort zones, and rhythms, and how you would want to portray your self-image. Simply singing or playing an instrument along a song will never work out if you want to be a long-term musician, and this just becomes more inapplicable in the maintenance of a long-term band. In conclusion, being a musician and a bandmate is difficult and polar. To be a musician is to create and perform based on your preferences and comfortability, and it's all different for everyone. While all this may seem discouraging, the main aspect of being a musician is to enjoy music and have fun. A musician's growth will always be constant and will always continue no matter how many of your bands break up or how many obstacles you face down the line. All of it will always depend on what you love and what you believe, even it may change. While it might be hard to recognize, let's appreciate the fact that this problem can exist in this school because it gives proof on the conductivity of music and art in this community.